Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly what I'd do if I had to reach 10K a month from zero. So starting from zero is actually really simple, and most people overcomplicate it. But most people who fail to build a business from scratch don't fail because the path is too hard. They fail because they're trying to invent something new instead of doing something that already works. This doc covers the exact sequence I'd follow if I had to build from 0 to 10 grand a month. It's not some theory, it's a concrete step-by-step process covering offer selection, getting your first clients without case studies, the sales process, and how to scale once you have proof. This is part of an ongoing series where I'm documenting my cold email campaigns and agency building in real time. If you're new here, my name is Dominic Schwantes. I'm the founder of Workflows, a B2B AI lead generation agency. I document everything I do in real time, the campaigns, the systems, and the results. What you'll find in this document is based on what actually works, not just some theory. So step one is to choose a service with a proven demand. The first mistake most beginners make is trying to sell something novel. They come up with an idea that sounds interesting and spend months trying to convince people to want something they've never asked for. Don't do that. Only sell something that already has demand. Something that businesses are already paying for and understand the value of. For a one-person online service business, the offers that work are the ones that are fundamentally text-based. Can be fulfilled largely with AI, and don't require the client to spend additional money beyond your fees to see the value. The 5 that fit those criteria are cold email lead generation, ads and funnels, content marketing and ghostwriting, email marketing, and AI automation builds. For this doc, I chose the example offer of LinkedIn ghostwriting plus lead generation, and here's what the deliverables look like. 5 long-form LinkedIn posts per week written for the client, posts designed to generate demand for their offer using direct response copywriting principles, images and PDFs created in Canva for posts that benefit from visual assets, comments on all their posts managed to increase reach and engagement, connection requests accepted, and DMs managed to set sales appointments. This is a complete, tangible product. It's not some vague description of a service category. Now on the pricing, start at around $1,500 a month. This is low enough that it falls in the impulse purchase range for a business owner, which means a shorter sales process and faster cash in. It's high enough to be meaningful for you, and as case studies accumulate and authority grows, the price goes up. But $1,500 is the right starting point to get the machine moving. Only sell something that already sells. The market doesn't care about your novel idea until you have proof it works, so go get the proof first. The second step is to get clients with the service-based lead magnet. When you have no case studies and no track record, the only real thing of value you have is your labor. Nobody cares about a PDF guide you wrote, and no one is impressed by a framework you invented, but they will pay attention to actual work done specifically for them. A service-based lead magnet is where you give a prospect a free piece of work, not a free piece of information. The purpose is for them to use that free work, see that it produces results, and want more of it on a paid basis. For a LinkedIn Ghost copywriting offer, this means writing a free post for a prospect and sending it to them before asking for anything in return. Finding the right prospects in this process is really critical, and not everyone is worth targeting. The kind of person who will pay $1,500 a month for LinkedIn ghostwriting is a business owner making at least 15 to 20 grand a month. Targeting people below that threshold wastes your time because they simply don't have the budget. The fastest way to find qualified prospects is to find top performers on LinkedIn who get significant engagement on their posts. Go through the comment sections on their posts and open every commenter's profile in a new tab. Filter for people who have a website, appear to be running a real business, and are actively posting their own content. These are the people who already understand the value of having a LinkedIn presence and have the budget to pay for help with it. Now, the outreach process is really simple. Send a connection request with a simple message, something along the lines of being able to write them a free long-form post if they accept the request. Once they accept, start writing immediately. Don't wait for the confirmation, the acceptance is the confirmation. Send the completed post as a direct message, and then follow up. The follow-up is where most of the deals actually happen. Expect a 2 to 4 week sales cycle from the first contact to the payment. That is completely normal for every offer in every industry. People are busy, particularly business owners. They get your message in the middle of their day and mean to respond later. Following up is not being annoying, it's being persistent in a way that most of your competition will not be. So when you run the numbers conservatively, here's what the model looks like. If it takes 30 minutes to produce one free deliverable and you send 10 per week, that's 40 per month. If 15% of those people book a call, that's 6 calls. And if you close 20% of those calls, that's one new client at $1,500 per month. The first month looks like negative cash flow because you're investing time before seeing returns. By month 3, assuming clients stay an average of 6 months, the compounding effect of retained clients alongside new ones produces meaningful revenue. By month 3, assuming clients stay an average of 6 months, the compounding effect of retained clients alongside new ones produces meaningful revenue. The reason 90% of people fail at this model is not because it doesn't work. It's because they quit in weeks 1, 2, or 3 before the sales cycle has had time to produce results. The model requires patience in the early stages because results are delayed, not absent. The service-based lead magnet works because it demonstrates competence before asking for money. A prospect who has seen your work and seen that it performs has already made most of the buying decision before they get on a call. Now, step 3 is the sales process. The sales process at this stage is pretty straightforward. Keep a simple tracking sheet of every prospect you've contacted. when you sent the connection request, whether they accepted, whether you delivered the free work, whether they booked a call, and whether they closed. This matters because without a tracking system, follow-ups become inconsistent and deals fall through the cracks. Most people who say the model doesn't work simply have no record of who they spoke to or when. Now, in the early stages, when they ask for a discount, just give it. The goal right now is not to maximize revenue per client, it's to get clients, get results, and build case studies as quickly as possible. The case studies are what allow you to raise prices and move away from discounting entirely. You're not in a position of leverage right now, and that's fine. The point of leverage comes after the proof. For now, prioritize volume of clients over margin per client. Now, the sales call itself follows a simple structure. You're not pitching, you're diagnosing. Find out what the client actually needs, whether you can genuinely help them, and whether they have the budget to work with you. Present the deliverables clearly using the product description framework covered in the earlier doc in this series. If there's a fit, present the price, and if they push back, offer a discount in exchange for case study rights. The call is not complicated. The complication comes from not having a clear product to present. That's why the deliverable list matters so much. It turns an abstract conversation into a concrete one. Now, once you have all that down pat, the next step is scaling. Once clients are coming in and staying, the path to scale follows a clear sequence. The first step in this sequence is collecting case studies. Every client engagement is an opportunity to build proof. Document the results. How many impressions did their post generate? How many connection requests and DMs came in? How many calls got booked? And how many clients did they sign? Quantifiable, measurable outcomes that are attributable to your work are what turn into future clients. Each case study typically takes 3 months of active service to accumulate enough data to be compelling. That means if you want a solid bank of case studies, the process takes 4 to 6 months of consistent client work. Do not skip this step. It will come back to bite you later if you do. The case studies are the mechanism by which your pricing power increases and your sales process shortens. Every hour invested in documenting results is paid back multiple times over. The next stage is hiring for fulfillment. Once client volume reaches the point where delivery is consuming most of your time, hire someone to help you with the fulfillment. For a content-based service, this means finding someone who can write to a standard close to yours. Now, don't hire a cheap virtual assistant with no writing ability. The quality of the work is what drives retention and case studies. Hire someone with a base understanding of copywriting, work alongside them for the first 2 to 3 weeks with regular feedback, and only start offloading client work once their output meets the standard. Use AI tools to assist with the production process as much as possible. It should easily be able to handle first drafts, research, and repurposing across formats. The AI doesn't replace the human judgment in the writing. It handles the mechanical production that doesn't require it. This is what allows one person to handle significantly more clients than would otherwise be possible. The next step is adding paid acquisition. Once you have case studies, a fulfillment system, and consistent revenue, introduce paid advertising. This is the point at which you stop spending your time to acquire clients and start spending money instead. The reason to wait until this point is simple. Ads require capital and they require proof. Without case studies to show in your ad creative, the conversion rate on paid traffic is much lower. Without revenue to fund the spend, the capital isn't there to sustain the campaign long enough to optimize it. Start at a modest budget. Your cost to acquire a client through ads will be higher than through outreach, but the clients come in faster and with less of your personal time invested. At this point, you've raised your prices as your authority has grown. The unit economics of paid acquisition makes sense in a way they wouldn't have at the starting price. And last but not least is to build a sales team. As ad spend increases and call volume grows, the sales process becomes the bottleneck. You can only take so many calls per day. At this point, hiring a closer on a commission-only basis to handle the inbound sales calls is the right move. Pay them a percentage of cash collected on every deal they close. This removes you from the day-to-day sales process and frees your time for activities that actually require you, like strategy, content, client relationships, and finding the next constraint to remove. The sales process is just repeating this sequence. Better results produce better case studies. Better case studies produce high prices and better conversion rates. High prices produce more margin to invest in ads. More ads produce more calls require more closes, and so on. So what this means for you. The path from 0 to 10 grand a month is really not complicated. It's a sequence of steps that compounds over time if you stay consistent long enough to let it. So to summarize this entire doc in a couple of sentences, choose a service with demand, build a product with specific deliverables, give free work to get your first clients, document the results, use those results to raise prices and attract better clients, hire to remove yourself from the fulfillment side, and add paid acquisition when the proof is there and you're making north of 30 to 50 grand a month. The only variable is whether you stay in long enough for the compounding to kick in. Most people don't, and that's why most people don't have the business they want. So that's all I have for you today. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any new videos, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow in the next video.